because then I'll be crooked.
No, get them with the school in the back.
Hi, and welcome to this edition of 34 News Update. I'm Andrew Schwartz.
And I'm Katie Bruno. The second installment of SPFHS's book on the second floor of the Media Center. The discussion was about John by senior Nate Jones.
The annual ski trip to Killington is being held this weekend. Mr. Thomas, the teacher who supervises the event, will be taking a group of students comprised from all different grades. They left Friday afternoon. Mike Trippett went to go find more about the trip. Mike?
Hi, I'm Mike Trippett, reporting for 34 News. I'm here with Mr. Thomas, a math teacher in the high school. So, Mr. Thomas, I hear you run a ski trip every year. What's that all about?
I love my skiing, and I love it to share it with the students. So I organize a trip to Killington, Vermont, and ask whoever would like to go. They sign up, and we go for a weekend and have a good time.
And how much is a ski trip?
It's $235 for 4 in a room, and it's a little bit more expensive if you have 3 or 2 in a room. That includes your bus transportation, a hotel, the lift tickets, and your food.
Thanks a lot, Mike. Now let's go back to Katie Bruno with more hard news.
Thanks, Andrew. The senior class sponsored the annual Pickleball Tournament held Wednesday, January 19th in the boys' gym. Steve Lowen went on location and caught up with this year's winners. Steve?
Thanks a lot, Katie. This is Steve Lowen on location here with John Corbin, one of the winners of the Pickleball Tournament this year. So, John, when was the tournament held?
It was held on Wednesday, January 19th.
Okay, and who was on your team?
Dave Bell and Rob Bug.
And what fantastic prizes did you win?
We won a glorious paddleball set that we can use for whenever we want.
That's great. And who are some of your top competitors?
Definitely our biggest, toughest match was Doug Rager, Mike Grable, and Brad Lowens. We had a big controversy there, but we came out and won the whole thing.
Great. Congratulations. All right. Now back to the studio.
Thanks, Steve. Now let's go back to Andrew Schwartz for more hard news.
In other hard news, SAD has been plowing through the year with fundraiser after fundraiser, such as SAD Singled Out and SAD Lip Service. Both of those were ideas borrowed from MTV. The SAD Birthday Card Committee Chair had this to say: "This is looking to be one of our most successful years ever. Everyone's working really hard towards the goal of informing the student body about driving while intoxicated and the problems it could cause." The AP Physics class has just finished their annual cardboard chair project. Tim Ryan caught up with Miss Young and some of her students. Tim?
They're evaluated in a number of areas: how strong the chair is, the appearance of the chair, if they can disassemble it, the originality and their documentation, and they're also graded on their sales pitch, and that's what you're seeing right now is a chair fair.
Okay, so how have the students done with this project so far?
So far they've done fairly well. None of the chairs have fallen or broken yet. They've all held up, and the students have done an excellent job.
Thanks a lot, Tim. Now let's go to Beth Hogan with this week's Arts and Entertainment. Beth?
Thanks, Andrew. Rep Theater with Mrs. Willman and Mrs. McGovern as the advisors will be putting on Grease in late March or early April. Recently, they began rehearsals. Courtney McDonald will portray Sandy, and the leading male roles will be held by Jim LaRue, Ian Bonner, and Gary Fletcher. For more on Grease, let's go to Anwar Montgomery. Anwar?
Hi, this is Anwar Montgomery reporting for 34 News. I'm here with Gary Fletcher, a member of Rep Theater. So, Gary, what play you got performing this year?
This year we're doing Grease.
And when is it going to be performed?
I'm thinking the 17th and 18th of March and the 22nd and 23rd.
And where is it going to be performed?
It's in the auditorium, probably around like 8 o'clock. The show starts. Should be good.
And who plays a big role in this play?
Playing the role of Danny Zuko is Ian Bonner. Sandra Dee is Courtney McDonald. Jim LaRue, Kaniki. Rizzo is Meryl Bazraczyk. Frenchie, Lindsay Davis, other stuff like that.
And who are your advisors this year?
Miss McGovern and Mrs. Wellman.
All right, thanks. This has been Anwar Montgomery reporting for 34 News, and I'm back to the studio.
Thanks, Anwar. 34 News managing editor Carolyn Pilkington recently completed a theatrical edition of Who's Who in Scotch Plains Fanwood. The show featured senior actors
Stritznick and Pat McDonald. They were all in a production of Neil Simon's Barefooted.
The show recently taped in Studio B by the Period 5-6 broadcast journalism class will be airing at 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. With more things to do this weekend, now let's go to Lindsay Curry and Lauren Regenthal with Weekend Preview.
Hi, this is Lauren Regenthal and Lindsay Curry, and this is your weekend preview. This weekend there's a ski trip being held. They're going to Killington. I hope you guys all have a great time. It's going to be real cold up there, so I hope you all bundle up.
Good times.
And Friday night there's a home wrestling match against Linden, and Saturday during the day there's a away wrestling match against Passaic Valley, so I hope you all go support your Raider wrestlers.
Check it out.
This weekend I hope you check out the movies. There's a new movie coming out, Down to You, and it's supposed to be good, so I hope you guys all see it. This has been Lauren Regenthal
and Lindsay Curry,
and this is your weekend preview.
Thanks, Lindsay and Lauren. Now to Clayton Castle with sports.
Thanks, Beth. In sports, the girls' basketball team currently has a record of 5-6. Their most recent victory came against Plainfield High, where center Kate Feiner scored a season-high 19 points. In other news, the wrestling team has a record of 6-1. Lauren Regenthal went on location with junior wrestlers Greg Patterson, Charles Lee, and Wesley Warcall to find out more. Lauren?
All right. Hi, this is Lauren Regenthal. I'm here with 3 varsity wrestlers, Greg Patterson, Charles Lee, and Wesley Warcall. So, Greg, what weight class do you wrestle in?
171.
And what grade are you in?
I'm a junior.
And Charles?
135, and I'm a junior.
And Wesley?
189, and I'm a sophomore.
And what's your record, Charles?
The team record? 5-1.
And who's your coach?
Michael Artigler.
And tell me about the quad that you had this Saturday.
Because of the diseases that we had in our room, we have a meet to make up for all the matches. So we had it between Eastside, Shabazz, us, and Governor Livingston. And we pretty much shut down every team. So we advanced our records to 5-1.
And how'd you wrestle?
I didn't wrestle, but Charles had a couple good matches, and Wesley really went out there and helped us out a lot.
Well, thanks a lot, guys. This has been Lauren Regenthal reporting for 34 News. Now back to the studio.
Thanks, Lauren. On January the 19th, the wrestling team beat Westfield at home by the score of 43-15. Their next match will come against Linden on January the 21st. Go Raiders. The boys basketball team is struggling with a 3-8 record. Their next game will be against Elizabeth. Hopefully the boys will be able to pull it together and pick up a victory. Their next home game, however, will be on January the 26th, so come support the Raiders and the Raiders Den. That wraps it for sports. Now let's go back to Kate and Andrew.
Thanks, Clayton. After Thursday's snowfall, no one really knows what to expect for this weekend's weather. But to find out whether you're going to be sunbathing or skiing, Salim Allen can tell you. Let's go to Salim with this weekend's weather. Salim?
Hi, this is Salim Allen and this is your weekend weather. Around Saturday, it's going to be, the highs will be around the 30s. The lows can be as low as 6 degrees. Sunday, we have another chance of snow. You know, it's going to be around the high 20s. The lowest it can be is 10 degrees. All right, Jeff, what do you think about the snow? Are you happy we have snow now?
Oh, I love it.
Well, that's it for your weekend weather. Hope you guys enjoy your snow. Now back to the studio.
Thanks, Salim. Thanks for joining us for this edition of 34 News Update. I'm Katie Bruno.
I'm Andrew Schwartz. Salim, we hope you weren't too cold out there, and we'll see you next week.
That's a good one. Hit it. Woo! Boo! Oh, look at them go. Easy, easy. Up. 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 Excuse me. Up, up. Hit it. Woo!
That is a big wave. He's going quite fast. Hit it, no duck.